Hey everyone, welcome back. This is BBT Tech, and today I got a Mr. Suits R2 from OwLabs, a company that took the keyboard scene by storm with the Jelly Epoch and then the Mr. Suits release. And if you haven't heard of them, where have you been? The designs from OwLabs are certainly striking, and also a nice breath of fresh air from what we're normally used to in the keyboard scene. They feature that nice marbly sound that is sought after, as well as that bouncy and soft typing experience. So, you know what, let's get right into the unboxing. The packaging of the Mr. Suits is phenomenal, and they separated the packaging in two layers, one for the plate and PCB. No, I do have an extra PCB here, and not everyone purchasing a unit would receive two. I bought extras. And the second layer is the keyboard itself. We also get the OwLabs special stabilizers that I will talk later in the episode. But inspecting the keyboard here, it is honestly nothing bad to say, as the finish and weight accents of this keyboard is phenomenal. And for 400 USD, you're honestly getting an insane value compared to most keyboards on the market. Oh, and did I mention that you get a nice black polished aluminum Artisan with that Mr. Suits logo? Yeah, that's only such a sweet bonus coming in from this kit. So, these new stabilizers, what's so special about them? Well, they feature a tighter housing compared to the housings we normally know and see from Durox in the market, and the main selling point for these owl stabs is that they're using liquid metal stabilizers. And essentially, this is a molded stabilizer that shouldn't have any issues such as a bent or jagged wires, straight from the factory. So, once you look at these in a full package, you're left with a set of stabilizers that shouldn't or should not have as much rattle as the other ones in the market. We also get stabilizer pads and stabilizer shims, but I only opted for the pads and used the washers for the screw and stabs. For the build, I did use all the included foam pieces for that marbly yet slightly muted sound that I was searching for. When building the keyboard, I did have to input all the switches through the plate first, since the switches were not sitting well with the plate being on top of that foam and PCB. And when inserting the mounted switches onto the plate itself, I just lined up the holes and let the pins puncture through the PE foam. However, you can pre-poke some holes for the pins if you want to ensure that there are no bent pins when you install the PCB. Now, to the issue that I had encountered when building this keyboard and I didn't have a chance to film was the soldering process. The switches and PCB just didn't sit well with one another, and I suspected it's probably due to the PE foam and plate foam causing the PCB to flex outwards. So in order to solder everything, I had to get a second hand to help press down on the PCB per switch to get the pins to stick out just enough for the solder to get into place. And speaking about the build process, another unique innovation from OwLabs is that they have certainly made the gasket mounting of this keyboard a lot easier from what I've been accustomed to. Essentially, instead of applying a gasket with adhesive to your case or plate, they're using what they call gasket socks that slide right onto the plate, and just like that, you're finished. Nice, simple, and easy. And once we have all that done, all we have to do is mount the main PCB with its middle and top layer of the case, which is a no fuss, no muss alignment scenario that you would get from other keyboards. It just simply sits in there, and you just have to make sure that the thicker bezel is on top, as the orientation does matter here. And after that, you can mount the bottom case to the top, making sure that the JST cable sits just in its cavity to ensure that the case will close properly. And now, for the moment that you guys all been waiting for, let's get on to that sound test. This keyboard is being built with the 8008 Inks Lubed with the standard Krytox 205 grade 0, which you should use on all your linear switches, and TX filmed. And the keycaps of choice is the Dixiemech frost switch. Now, if that isn't one of you guys' favorite sounding keyboards, well, man, your preferences are severely different from what I have. This keyboard has a great typing experience with this relief cut style aluminum plate and PCB, which opts for a nice yet soft bouncy typing experience. This is honestly one of my favorite keyboards that I've built to date, and one of the nicest looking keyboards in my collection so far. And the question is this keyboard worth it? And what most people will be asking right now is, should I buy this keyboard? And to answer that, I say yes, most definitely you should. There is a round 3 coming soon, and you better hope you're on the gear for that. Unless you fancy getting it sooner, you can hit up the secondhand market at Mech Market, but the prices are a lot higher than that suggested MSRP. And I know I did say this was one of my favorite keyboards of all time to date, but honestly, there's just so many great keyboards out there or in the works for a release, and paying that extravagant resale price for any board, in my opinion, is just not justifiable. But if that is something you're interested in, I don't think you'll regret it, just maybe your bank will. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did enjoy it, maybe think about subscribing, as it does help a lot with the YouTube algae. This is BBT Tech signing out. Peace.